Rise and grind, family. Good morning, and good morning. You are checked in to See Change Radio. I am your host, Devin Rankin. I'm new to this, but I promise you I'm true to this. You gotta have fun with it, man. The date is Thursday, August 19th. It is 8:30 a.m. and I'm so happy that you chose me. You picked me today, and yeah, we rocking. I'll be here every week, every Thursday, so feel free to tune in, and let's get right to the show. So a little bit about myself. So I'm not just this mysterious guy on the airwaves, like it's an actual person back here with real jobs and mainly real bills. So yeah. But born and raised in North Carolina, I am a product of public school. Love my schools. Love Winston-Salem State University. Shout out to the Rams of the world. That's where I went to college. I am an educator / community leader by day, and by night I am a bucket on 2K21. Yeah, shout out to all my video gamers out there. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. And on a deeper sense, what I do is I currently serve as a director of family relations at a Charlotte charter school called Charlotte Lab School. And a lot of people ask me, like, what does that even mean? Like, director of family relations? I ain't never heard of that before. And the way I like to explain it is it's a way for me to help families get what they need, right? Whatever that might be. If it's problem solving ideas about how to help people manage their kids and get ways to engage their children in their schoolwork, I help with that. If you need help paying a light bill, you need help getting something food, or you need help with literally anything, right? I either help you with it or I put you in contact with the people that can help you. And I think that this service piece, this advocacy, this way of life that I live right now that is literally based on helping people really helps me to be a better person for real. And it helps me impact kids to be better people too. So, like, prime example, I got a food pantry on campus, right? And usually when people think about food pantries, oh yeah, we don't want that, we don't need that. But I've really tried to be very intentional about how I brand and distribute the grocery items and foods, and also norming that it's okay, bro. Like, if you need help, it's okay. Just say that. And I think right now what's so hard is people are so scared to ask for help because of fear of judgment, fear of all the things that are going on in this world. And I get that, right? People are crazy. People are rude. People are mean. And people judge you for what you don't have. But I think myself, the leadership here at my school, as well as my interns, because I have 2 high school interns and they play a large role in this. We all try to norm, like, getting help is okay. Seeking help is okay. And I think that's been really big for us. So now moving on to, like, where the idea of See Change came from. So See Change was literally just an idea I had in college. One thing about me is that I get ideas in my brain sometimes, and it's like one of those things where it like itches at you until you have to, like, write it down or get it out, right? And so when I first wrote about See Change, I thought I was trendy. I think I'm a little fashionable guy. So at first I thought it was just a clothing brand. So I built a website. I made some t-shirts, made some crew necks. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell these clothes with this dope logo on it. Oh, shout out to Austin Pruitt. That's the guy that did my logo. You need logo help, he's your guy. He currently works for NASCAR in their digital and digital social media area, that realm. So yeah, hit up Austin if you need anything. But at first, me and Austin just sat down and he was like, what's your vision for it? Because he made my logo. And I told him, I was just like, I don't know, bro. Like, I want to see change, right? I like being an advocate. I like being a change agent in my community. And I like seeing change occur. So since I like seeing change occur, then yeah, let's just go with See Change. And he was like, all right, it's your world, squirrel. So, all right, cool. So now we get to see change, and I'm making clothes. Now, many people that make clothes and have brands know that you can't just go out there and wing it. Like, you have to effectively plan for things to take place. You have to effectively market different materials. And I just wasn't doing that. I was just out here selling clothes and wearing my shirt every time I went out in the community. And little did I know that me wearing my brand, my clothes, when I went out in the community and did services, when I went out to Charlotte has a really large tent city population. And so from July, when quarantine started, to literally still to this day, we would do bi-weekly give backs. So we would go out there, we would help people, we would get tents, we would get food supplies, we would get hand warmers, underwear, socks, anything you would need to live, right, to survive. We would help these people that were displaced, because I don't like using the word homeless. We would help these people that were displaced get those things. And it's always so crazy because, like, the residents of Tent City, like, when I say Tent City, I literally mean like a city full of tents. Like, people of Charlotte, North Carolina can understand what I'm talking about, but people would set up tents along a road or in a gravel lot and live there daily. And, like, a lot of people don't understand or know that, like, fully functioning people are there, right? COVID hit all of us differently. COVID hit hard for a lot of people. So we had people that were there that had, mental health stuff, people that are there just trying to get it, people that are there went through a job loss. And so when I saw that, like, I knew it was time for me to step up. So I would wear my little t-shirt, my little Sea Change t-shirt out in Tent City every Saturday or Sunday, every other Saturday and Sunday. And we would just give back, right? We would ask the people's first name basis, yo, what's going on, bro? What can we get for you? What can we help you with, right? And we would plan events out there. We would have campfire nights where we would come out, have chili, light a fire, and just tell campfire stories, right? Or we would have art days where we get different artists to come out and teach people how to do different styles of art. Really not losing the humanity piece in our community work. And so, like, when we think about giving and charity, there's a such thing as toxic charity, right? You can't just keep giving all the time with no, like, substance or no, like, rhyme or reason for giving. You're just doing it. I tell people all the time, I don't want your money. Don't throw your money at problems. I want you. I want what you bring to the table. I want how you present yourself, whatever that may be. And I want you to be there because people like seeing other real people, right? There's no need for you to come out here looking all uppity crazy because we're just here to serve. And so Sea Change started to transform after these community service events with Tent City. And it really formed into this idea that one day in my head, it just came out. It was just like, in order to be the change, first you got to see the change. And that's just something it was like my mantra. Every year I think about making a mantra for myself. Right now my mantra is, if you focus on the good will get better. And that stems from a lot of times in a lot of organizations or a lot of places and spaces in your life, we focus so much on the negative. Oh, how can I not do that anymore? Or how can I cut off what I was doing and do better at this? How can I decrease that and increase this? And someone really spoke to me and started thinking about, like, if you focus on the good will get better. Now, what does that mean to me? I think that means sometimes you got to flip the narrative. There's enough stories on negativity. There's enough coverage on negative. But when you start to program yourself to think differently about situations, scenarios, things going on, happening in your life, I think you change in them. I tell my mentees all the time, I'm religious. I tell people God doesn't take you out of situations. God changes your mindset inside of situations. And so when your mindset changes inside a situation, you begin to operate on a different wavelength. And I think that's what happened, right? And so Sea Change started as this cool clothing brand that I like that nobody really bought, which is cool because like I like doing things by myself that nobody really buys. Like I have a Tumblr page where I write blogs and I literally let no one follow me. I just write them for me. Like I just go out and write my feelings, my emotions on there. So like I think it's important. This is a sidebar, but I think it's important for you to have those things that are just for you. That isn't just talking to yourself, because I think, or just talking to other people. Like I get that, but like you need to have those core things. So right, so Sea Change started as this clothing brand that I really liked, but then it turned into something so much bigger. It turned into a community organization that consults, that helps, that aids, that provides different aspects of different things for different people, right? And so another example of how I've turned Sea Change into a community organization, besides the food pantry and the tent city stuff, is I recently just wrote a curriculum for someone who wanted to provide their business to children. So there's this guy, and we went to high school together. He's real cool. Harold Lowe, my boy, CJ. He's really into markets and supply and demand and stocks and all the things of these natures. And he came to me and he was like, how can I make this content something that I can teach high school students so before they graduate, they can already have an idea of what investment looks like, what investing is. And so Sea Change is just a wide net of things that really just helps everybody, right? In order to see the change, you got to be the change. So I have committed myself to being a change agent in every space that I enter, right? I've committed myself to being not different, but devoted, committed, determined to do the mission I came in to do. So that's a little bit about Sea Change and what we do, how you can get involved. I would love for us to stay connected. So feel free to follow me on Instagram. Is at SeeChange97, and it's SEE Change 97. Not C, but like the actual, like you're looking at something, you're seeing something. SEE Change 97, and I just try to find different ways to connect different people. Right. So like you don't know what you don't know. So if you need a service done, if you need something done, and I don't have the answer for you, I promise you I know somebody who does it very well. And I think collaboration is something really big with my generation in the recent years. Like these ideas of collabs, like even if we think about fashion, like prior to, I don't know, the past 10 years, when we think about fashion collabs, like we never saw Bape collabing with other people 10 years ago. We didn't see Adidas and Yeezy collabing with Gap. Like with this idea, Travis Scott collabing with Nike, Sweetie, what's it, Sweetie? I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm sorry, Shorty. But she got her own Happy Meal. You feel me? Like this idea of collaboration. We are in the age of collaboration. And so how can we continue to be collaborative and help people as much as we can, right? And so a little bit of framing and the framework, right, of how this is going to go. So Sea Change Radio is going to be another extension of collaboration. This platform is going to be used to help get other people out there, right? And so over the next couple of weeks, we'll be talking to some really great people. And they're definitely somebody that you're going to want to tune into. I mean, that's for certain, right? I live by the term, I am because we are. And so when you think about what that means, like I am everything that I am because we are all the things that we are, right? We are standing on the shoulders of giants. We are standing on like the literal shoulders of the people that paved the way for us, the trailblazers that did it all for us. Like, they didn't have to do that, right? Like, I think about the song all the time. The woman's like, I had not praying, grandmother. Grandma was literally praying so that we could have the opportunity and ability to do all the things that we wanted to do, right? I think it's a popular meme right now. They walk so we could run. They walked so we could have all the things that we have. And so these people that are coming up, man, I ain't going to give you too much about it, but we're going to talk about dreaming a little bit. We're going to talk about what it means to dream and hold on to that dream and how your dream can become a reality, right? I am a firm believer in achieving your goals is very possible. You can do whatever you want to do. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. We're going to talk about like what it means to struggle a little bit and keep it pushing, right? We're going to talk about what it means to forgive and move on. Like sometimes you got to let that hurt go, and that's a real thing. Amongst a whole bunch of other stuff, a whole bunch of cool stuff too. We're going to talk to my family. We're going to talk to some local community members, some people doing some really dope stuff in the community. So I can't wait to amplify their voices so you can hear all the great things that they're doing. Because, it's easy to forget about the little guy. The little guy is underrated. But on WDRB, this is the voice of the community. You know what I'm saying? So the community is going to do what they got to do. But I'm so thankful to have this platform to be able to do the things that I want to do. And so the first thing that I'm going to talk about today is along the lines of knowing your why. So when I think about know your why, right? Know your why first came into my life my senior year of college. I ran for the Royal Court at my university. So schools have like HBCUs have these things called Royal Courts where the people on them are like the face of the university off campus and on campus. And so my role was I served as Mr. 1892 at Winston-Salem State University. And what my job entailed all like career readiness and career development stuff for the university. So I met with the freshman class every week, and we had sessions about like how to make sure that you're staying on top of your game, how you make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. So stuff like that. And then along with supporting the Mr. and Mrs. Winston-Salem State University. And so Know Your Why was my platform that I first came up with when I was running. And so when you know your why, it can help yourself and the other people around you, right? Oftentimes we spend so much time on the what or the process, we lose track of why we're even doing what we're doing, right? This looks like people always doing work, but there's no passion behind it. Everyone has been to that program where it seems like it was just thrown together to have an event just to have it. But when people lose track of their why, life seems to be real stagnant, right? It seems to be like just one of those things that you're doing. My coach used to call it going through the motions. This is because when you find out your why, you begin to walk on a new path for real. This path is designed to take you to the place where you work within your why on a consistent basis. Now, of course, naturally, as you walk, there's going to be things along the way that get you to stop and start going a different direction, right? So some things aren't planned. Some things just happen. Some things pop out of nowhere. And, hey, we just got to roll with the flow. These things could be like bad habits. You can meet that toxic person. You can have that toxic relationship or just feeling complacent or whatever else you consider a distraction. But when you put your time and energy into spaces where your passion doesn't live, you find it harder to be yourself, harder for yourself to grow. You notice your peace is disrupted. That's real big for me. Like, I know when my peace is disrupted. My mom used to say all the time when I would walk in the room, peace is broken, because I was one of them real loud kids. But it's all good, though. But once you understand your why, all the things that are fueled by your why turn out a lot better. Knowing my why is to inspire youth and young people. Connecting to my students that I teach comes easy to me. I found that the things that I'm natural at have something to do with the core values that I have. Everybody's raised in different households with different situations, but that doesn't mean you don't have the opportunity to pursue your passion. Every day you should take steps of growth that push you in the direction that get you to where you want to go. And growth can progress one day at a time. It's all good. Don't stress about that. A good goal is to always do better than you did yesterday. Even if that means that you're half a step further than before, I mean, hey, that's still growth, bro. Like, do what you got to do. It's all good. But when you're off track, small things that usually work out fine go wrong. Personally, when I get off track, the lesson that I taught didn't go so well, right? Or the way I thought I could come in and just wing this meeting, like it just doesn't work. Places of passion suffer when you're distracted. Imagine trying to take a test about colors and only numbers are on your mind. You can't focus on the task at hand when you're distracted. A good way to deal with distractions is to take moments throughout the day and self-reflect. So reflection is one of the biggest things that I do all the time, right? Self-reflection can get you back on track and decrease the involvement of distractions, right? When you operate within your why, you begin to see in a new light and you understand the power that you have as an energy that can't be wiped out. Knowing your why lets you know there's places and spaces you just can't go, right? And so when I think about knowing my why, another word that comes to mind is intentional. Freedom School Partners is a program that I've been a part of for a very long time. And it's a program dedicated to decreasing the summer learning loss, right? And so every summer I'll have maybe 10 to 12 camp counselors and between 60 and 100 kids. And we use the word intentional so much because everything we do, from the songs we sing to the books we read, is intentional. And you should take that level of intentionality into your life, right? So when the things you do are all intentional, it begins to make your outcomes look different. And when your outcomes look different, boom, you on the right track. Your why should be like your forever flame. The fire that just keeps going and going and going. And it's almost infectious to other people, right? And so sometimes, like, when people see like that person that is just like showing joy, like their joy is contagious, their smile is contagious. Shoot, yawn's contagious. So thinking about like how can you light that fire within yourself to be committed to the things that you want to do. And when I think about the community work that takes place with my school, with Sea Change, with my friends, with anybody, like it all comes from that fire that I have within me to really just make sure everybody gets what they need. Because like making a lot of money has never been one of those things that's on my to-do list, right? What's on my to-do list is making sure that the people around me are just as successful as I am. Jay-Z gave me the bombest quote ever in one song. I think it was, what song was it? Boss? I think it was in Boss with Beyonce. And he was like, over here, we measure success by how many people are successful next to you. And then he went on to say, like, over here, we call you broke if everybody's broke except for you. And like, we know Jay, like we see Jay, he put the whole gang on, like he puts everybody on. He looks out for a lot of people and he goes into different organizations and spaces and makes them better. And so keeping that same like mindset, that same framework, how can you help elevate the people around you is really like the question of the session, right? The question of the day. How can you and your platform, or you and yourself, help elevate the men, women, children, however you want to identify yourself, around you better? And I think that's the biggest thing. So I look forward to this journey that we have just started together. Next time, we're going to have some dope people with me in here, and they're going to talk about themselves a little bit. We got a little questions for them. But never lose sight of like why we're doing this. And I think I go back to like knowing my why. And I just want to reiterate, like, don't lose track of why you're doing something, because I don't like to waste people's time and I don't like to waste my time. And you shouldn't like to waste your time. So like there's a time and place for mindless activities, but there's also a time and place to be very intentional about the things you got going on. So going through this week, getting ready for the weekend, my challenge to you is how can you be more intentional Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so that Monday we beginning to get on a new track. So just let me know what you think, and we're going to see how this go. So I'll see you next week on Thursday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, C Change Radio with your boy, Devin Rankin. You can follow me on Instagram at CChange97. That's SEECHANGE 97 on Instagram. And so I look forward to the fun. I look forward to the laughs. I look forward to the joy that's going to take place, because, yeah, it's up. So let's finish this day out strong with a dope song. It's a song I mentioned earlier. So check out Boss by Beyonce and Jay-Z.